So weekly update number 18 that we're on now. 18, yes, it's number 18. First of all, thanks for all your comments on the last weekly update, just on the format that we're sort of putting together. That's really encouraging. We're going to go through those comments in the YouTube section as well, and also some extra feedback that I've had from people about dividing the sections up, and also some photos people have sent in as well. So yeah, really appreciate your feedback. As I said, anybody who's got anything about living in Spain and that you want to share and send it across to me, it'd be great to stick it on the update and put it at the end of the section, because maybe people haven't moved yet, want to see what people who are here are getting up to, really. Okay then, so first of all, stage one, what's happening over in the UK, and a couple of notes from this week that I have. First one is regarding the opening of the appointments, specifically in London. Last month they opened them around the 23rd, 24th. This month it was the 28th that they opened the appointments, which was really late. But when they did open, it is June, and loads and loads of appointments are available. So yeah, it's a strange one, it really is. I went through, one of our clients got their own appointment. I went through the booking process with another one of our clients using some screen sharing software, and the first time it kicked us out. It was very strange. It wouldn't let us go into the, once we'd created the account, it wouldn't let us go back in. It then kicked us out for too many attempts on one IP address. Then it was time to have a cup of tea and just wait and go back in. But our client actually turned his computer off, put it back on, which I think creates a new IP address, and it let him in straight away. So then I jumped on and we went through the booking process, and it was good. So it is working, but just be aware for those of you who are booking in for appointments in July, because an awful lot of people want to go in July, that this month it was the 28th that they opened those appointments, but they were readily available once they were open, so that's good. The other thing was acros. We've been receiving acros quite late now. They seem to be very busy at the moment, and you have to fix on the date of creation of the acro, not the date that it was issued, because the date of creation is the start date for the 180-day validity. Now normally now, because they've got a longer validity, people don't really have problems with acros going out of date, but normally the date of creation would be very close to the date of being issued. And recently we've seen some which have got like a 2 or 3 week difference. So just be careful with that and make sure that the date of creation is the date you're taking into account when judging your paperwork. All right. Another thing, this really relates to coming from the UK, so I'm going to put it back in, I'm going to put it in this section as well. We had a client that I spoke to about a vehicle import, and they have bought a vehicle in which unfortunately can't be registered in a normal way because it hasn't got EU conformity, but could be registered for change of residence. You know, if you bring a vehicle in which doesn't have EU conformity, then you can waive the need for that conformity by declaring it's your personal item and bringing it in for change of residence. And you have to have owned that vehicle for more than 6 months. They actually check if you've been the registered keeper for more than 6 months, which I think in the UK legally it doesn't actually make you the owner, but anyway, that's what they check, the registered keeper for more than 6 months on the logbook. And in European documents they see who it's registered to, and then when you do your residency process you can bring it in as part of your goods. You shouldn't have to pay VAT and duty on that import, and if it doesn't have a conformity certificate, then you can get a different document called a Ficha Técnica Reducida, which will allow you to pass the ITV. You can also get Ficha Técnica Reducidas for conformed vehicles, but for non-conformed vehicles you definitely would need this. And as long as the vehicle hasn't got any crazy modifications and is safe and is true to the specification of that vehicle, then you shouldn't have any problems bringing it through the ITV. The reason I'm mentioning this is because our client, well, our future client, I think maybe a future client, who knows, who I had a chat with this week, had been advised or was thinking of jumping on the Padron way before they're taking their residency. Now, this could be a problem when it comes to waiving tax on your goods and shekels, because aduanas or customs, which is basically a division of the tax office, will look if anything they can to not waive that tax. They do not want you to have the right to not pay tax. So if you've registered on the Padron, they will take that as your first date of residency. Even though you haven't got your residency card, you haven't got anything else that proves you're resident, nope, you've registered on the Padron, that's the first date. We've had it before where people had holiday homes and they may have been encouraged to register, some town halls do, register on the Padron, and then they've been coming back and forth for 2 or 3 years. And then, well, obviously if you're an EU citizen, you have to re-register every 5 years or confirm that you still live there, non-EU every 2 years. But when they came to register their car, submit the documents to Customs asked for a historic Padron or a Padron certificate that shows the first date you were registered on the Padron. And if it's more than a year old, then they'll say, nope, you can't waive your goods because you've lived here for more than a year. Okay, so that's a handy tip. Just be careful about registering on the Padron. Okay then, so that is stage 1. Let's move on to stage 2 and what is happening in Spain. So what's happening in Spain? Well, this week, we had quite a busy week this week. Monday was a crazy day. So we had on Monday, we had 6 visa registration appointments in Murcia and Cartagena. We had 1 in Malaga. Then we had an exchange in Benalmádena, which now lots of people obviously still haven't changed their green cards to a TIE card, are rushing to do so now with the new restrictions which are going to be put in place in the airports. And then we had some pickups there. I can see Monday afternoon people had already got their cards and just got their cards registered, but just needed to pick them up. Tuesday was much the same. Tuesday we had 2 appointments in Alicante Mira, which is the main EXTRANJERIA who do TIE registrations. Tom was over in Almeria, and we also had an appointment in the Edinburgh consulate. There was one that went through the London consulate, and I had a registration appointment in Marbella. So, and I met there, you can see me here. This is with Mike, our client. Mike's been, he follows our channel, and he's also been going through the non-lucrative visa process with us. And there we are, me and Mike and Rosanna, enjoying a coffee after the appointment. I must admit, it was really nice to catch up with them and actually get out on the road a little bit. After that, Wednesday, yeah, we got a bit of information back because we had a couple more appointments in Alicante, and we got some information back from Victoria, who is our appointment specialist over there. Also Julie, who works that area as well. Julie was in Murcia because Victoria wasn't available, and Victoria then towards the end of the week was doing Alicante. And we just wanted to show you these photos. Now, this is a photo of a bar where on Thursdays we generally meet our clients here. Now, there's a video below which explains all of this and what we do with our clients when we go to Alicante, but this is where we meet them. There you go, it's a nice picture of the tapas as well. Why not show you that? Because on Thursday the car park is closed and it's got the market, it can be a bit hectic. And this is a very good place to park and meet our clients, to have a short walk over to the police station. So there we go. What else do we have going on? It was on Thursday, not too much on Thursday, just one appointment in Alicante on Thursday. And yesterday, that was it. I was off yesterday, actually. Well, Friday. I had some family members come, so I worked the morning and then took the afternoon off. So there we go. Really busy week in Spain. Apart from the information I was just telling you there about where we're going to meet people in Alicante, it's getting increasingly more difficult to book appointments. And I know I go on about this, but if we get you an appointment, please make sure you can come to it. You have to move heaven and earth to get to those appointments, but it is happening. Marbella were fantastic, I have to say. It was a very nice office to go into, though there was a slight discrepancy on the entry stamp date that they used to register the visa. Not anything we can't sort out, but it does highlight the fact that when you do go and register your TIE card, you have to really point to the correct entry stamp in your passport. So that's it. That's what's happening in Spain. So let's crack on and have a look at the YouTube comments. So now moving on to the YouTube comments, and we got some great responses from my last video. Thank you guys for getting back to me and letting me know about the format, and yeah, I think it works. So we're going to continue with this UK stage 2. Well, what's happening in the UK, what's happening in Spain. We're going to talk about answer questions on YouTube. This is great because it also gives me a chance just to go through things I might have missed during the week, and then afterwards just to chat about Spain. I've got some great suggestions also from other clients about maybe putting different things in the different chapters, so creating a template to show what chapter people are on, chaptering it in the notes below. Also about price comparison as well, because I uploaded a couple of invoices and stuff to the last one, and I'm going to get working on that, guys. I really am. Okay, so thank you very much. We're going to continue to this structure, and every single time we're going to get better and better and better. So hopefully by about weekly update number 50 I'll have it right. The price comparison, Stu and Joe, our followers and clients, they really hit the nail on the head with that. So we're going to do that properly. I think in the next one we're going to start doing a price comparison and work out how we can format it to show you every time. But anyway, cracking on with the YouTube updates. And where are we? Right, okay then. So 8 days ago, starting with 8 days ago, from here. The Norville, love the new format, makes a lot of sense doing this way. Just a note on getting my car matriculated. Here we go. The first time I visited an ITV station, they failed my car. The reason being I had an aftermarket suspension lowered and upgraded anti-roll bar. I had to put them back to standard before passing the ITV. Also, you need to have a COC certificate of conformity. The first certificate I got from a link on the DVLA and was charged £150. When I took that form to the ITV, they rejected it because it was not original. It was printed. It was only a printed copy. Then I contacted VW Reading and they sent me an original for free. So DVLA has links that charge you for a certificate which the Spanish ITV does not recognise. The company which I paid for the COC would not give me the money back. Also complained to the DVLA and still waiting for the answer 9 months later. That is a very, very, very valid point, Norville 2. Thank you very much for that. Yes, when you come to register your vehicle in Spain, you will either need a certificate of conformity or a ficha técnica reducida. In some circumstances, there's more documentation needed depending on where the vehicle's from, but these two documents you will definitely need. Now, if you have a certificate of conformity, it has to be the original certificate. They will not accept printed copies. Okay, so that's why we always have to see the original. If one of our clients has got an original certificate of conformity or they send us a scan of one, we always have to see the original. It has to be original documents. A ficha técnica reducida, on the other hand, you can either take it in as an original document, but most of the time now, technicians will have a digital signature, which means that the ITV can accept the document on an email, scan a QR code, which then verifies the origin of that document. So, but certificate of conformity has to be original. Janet Harding Wilson, love the last part. Food, wine, and wildlife. More, please, Chris. That's great. Thanks for that. That's. We'll get more of that on. I've got an interesting wildlife video coming up for you now. Great update. Yeah, love the new format, particularly section where you talk about life in Spain. This is getting loads of traction, the life in Spain bit, so that's cool. That was from Elaine. I like your new format, very good. From Bernard, from Robbo, great video, Chris. Like the new format, but you're learning as you go, so you only get better. Keep up the work, good fella. Cheers. Keep up the good work, fella. Yeah, it's true. You learn as you go along with YouTube, and you don't always have time to do it perfectly, but I hope what I get out there is interesting. Very good video as always. See you in July to sort everything, driving license, etc. That's from David Tumner. Yeah, he's there just waiting for their visas to come through now. Thanks for the advice, Chris. Great format. That's from Great Phil Green. I just bought a car in the Netherlands, but the car was bought original new in Spain in 2015. Paid road taxes in the Netherlands and insurance. Drove it to Spain and now want to Spanish plates. How do I go about registering? How do I go about getting the plates, please? Leonard, Luke. Right, okay. Now, if the vehicle was previously registered in Spain, then you do a rehabilitation of the old number plate, which involves getting a document from Tráfico called an Oficio de Tráfico, going to the ITV centre, passing the test and re-registering at the Tráfico office again once you have the test passed. Tráfico will give you the new fixtures with the number plate already on it, and you just have to go and get your new permission. If the vehicle was bought new in Spain but never registered here, for example, then you would have to do a complete new registration. Now we've got here Tony Carlos. If I drive a car over, can I leave it at the airport so I can use it when I get back over? That was on the Ask Me Anything Live, which was yesterday morning with Scats. Not really. Now you could, in theory, if you look at the car as the asset, now as a resident, you know you can't drive a foreign registered vehicle. If you bring a vehicle over and leave it at the airport, as a tourist, in theory you can register it, but I'd say that you'd have to register it in Spain after 6 months, because then the tax liability is held with the car. It's not advisable to drive a car over and leave it on foreign plates at the airport and just use it when you come over. I think it's better you intend to leave it here just to register it on Spanish plates. So there we go. Let's have a look where that was our comments from YouTube. We've got none which are held for review. Really appreciate all the encouragement. Don't forget on YouTube that yesterday we had our podcast with Bill Anderson, which was a fantastic. I was quite nervous actually. It's sort of the first time I've done a podcast of that type, and it really went well. Bill invited me into his home, so please look at that. The links are below for that. And now let's talk about food, wine, and what's been happening in Spain. So what's happening in Spain? A bit of a different format to the video today. I'm just having a drive back from Torremolinos after dropping some family off, and I thought, you know what, this would be a good opportunity to mix up the way that we do these videos, really. See if it works. Let me know. So yeah, we're in Torremolinos at the moment. This is on the front. We've just come from the Carrihuela end, and now we're driving through what they call La Colina, for the back end of La Colina, and literally this is where Torremolinos ends. But this isn't a Torremolinos driving video, so let's have a look at the first thing. Well, this week we had in Alarín de la Torre the elite women's race, cycle race come through. I must admit, I didn't know it was going on until it happened, and Lara managed to grab a video of it while she was blocked by the police. But it's so incredible how they organise these things. It literally is just like a constantly moving race where they send a recce out in front, close the roads down quickly, and next thing you know, there's hundreds of bikes going past, and then the roads suddenly open again. So it's so well organised. In Alarín de la Torre is also, don't forget that we have we sometimes have the Vuelta de España, so the Vuelta de España cycle race, and the Vuelta Andalucía come through. So yeah, it's we do see, if you're into cycling, Alarín de la Torre is definitely a great place to be. And here, yeah, talking about Torremolinos, it's now Pride Month, obviously, and there's some big celebrations happening here in Torremolinos. Yesterday, the centre was closed to traffic, and on the beach, you can see there were some festivities at the beach bars, and the music sounded absolutely amazing, I have to say. We were just having a tapper in a bar close to this one here, you can see. And there's some real Ibiza style tunes going on, so that was good. And then I put a link down below to the the information from the Town Hall's website about what's going on this month with Pride. Then round the corner, what everybody seems to call Cat Rock. So when you walk from towards the Carriwella way, there's a rock which it's a rock, it's a bit that sticks out. You can't drive around there, you can walk around, and it has lots of cats there, and hence why we named it Cat Rock. And these cats are all part of a program where cats are neutered and left in colonies to live happy lives. Again, a link below to what that's all about, the CR program, but it's mainly volunteers that help with this. And as you can see in the link, they reckon up to 3,000 cats across Torremolinos living in colonies, and you can tell when they've been part of this program because of the clip in the ear, as you can see there with this one. That's why I managed to get this photo. So yeah, and they all look very healthy, I can tell you that when you see them. Now here's a couple of photos that I thought we could do a bit of a price comparison with. So price of fuel in Spain. This one here on the left of your picture, that is a place called PLENOIL, and this is self-service station in Alcalá de la Torre. This company is relatively new, but I've seen them popping up all over Spain, and they normally only have one person on there just to make sure that the 6 or 7 pumps are working correctly. Very easy to use, and you can see the prices there, that in PLENOIL it's diesels at 136.5 and the petrol's at 159.5. So now this photo on the right, this is Repsol on the motorway in Marbella. Now we do know that we pay a little bit more on the motorways, that's normal, and you're definitely going to pay a little bit more for being in Marbella, I'm afraid. But as you can see, the price difference is quite a lot. It's 23 cents more. It's 159.9 for diesel, and the petrol is at 176.9, which, you know, per litre, if you're chucking in 40-50 litres into a tank, that soon adds up, I tell you. So yeah, be careful where you fill up. Now, after discussing this yesterday, we were saying, well, was the quality of the fuel better in Repsol and stuff like that? I've always filled up at PLENOIL and never had a problem, to be honest. And I don't have high performance cars, but never had a problem with the fuel there. Right, so we've left Torremolinos and we're just heading up the road now through a place called Churriana, and this takes us straight to Alcalá de la Torre. Now, talking about price comparisons, something else I did this week was I kick-started off my my summer bod plan, start running again. I used to love running, did start at the beginning of the year, got a little bit of a couple of niggles and had to stop, and now it's starting again. I'm far too overweight at the moment. I'm probably about 16-17 kilos heavier than what I normally would be when I was running the marathon. So I went to Decathlon and treated myself to a whole new set of running kit. Mine was, apart from the fact it doesn't fit at the moment, was a bit old and worn out. And as you can see, Decathlon's prices are absolutely fantastic. Decathlon, if you don't know, I think there are some in the UK, definitely one in London, I know that, but they're very popular over here in Spain. Sports shops which literally have everything for every type of sport you could possibly imagine. And I went to grab myself some new running trainers, you know, nothing too exciting, too expensive. So a pair of shorts and a top, just so, you know, to keep fit, fresh vibe going. And as you can see, the trainers, they had a choice there, the cheapest ones. I went for the $29.99 ones, but they did have them for $19.99. But they were very good, I have to say. I've been out in them already and very comfortable. Also, you've got shorts there, which are $7.99 for running, very basic shorts, and the running tops basics were €11.99. So, you know, you're looking for around, I should have added this up before really, shouldn't I? There's 20, 30, so 40 or 50 euros. If you're going for the more expensive trainings, you can get yourself your running kit and get that beach bod back. I'll let you know how that goes. It's maybe left it a little bit too late for that, but hey, keeping fit's always good. So yeah, decathlon. Next thing was, let's move on to something interesting that we found in our garden. Check this fella out. So this fella is a baby praying mantis. Now we get a lot of these baby praying mantises in Spain. We get a lot of praying mantises in Spain. We see quite a few out in the country. And this guy was really friendly, didn't seem particularly scared of us at all. And we just left him to go about his business, and managed to get a little bit of a video. Oh, him or her, I don't know what it is. If anybody knows how to tell, let me know. Beautiful colours, absolutely amazing, bright green. And the other thing, which I haven't mentioned really on this Spain update, but I thought I would do, was I do have a passion for cactuses. Don't know why, but I have quite a few cactuses from around Spain where I've managed to just snip bits off. I would say I'm stealing them, I would say I'm propagating, and then take them home and turn them into nice pots. Now this first one here, oh, at the moment we're just out of Chiriana now, and we're heading into Alarín de la Torre. So you'll see we're heading into the town. So the first one here, this is what they call a chumbera. Now you see plenty of these around Spain, or you might not do now. There was a big disease which wiped these out about 4 or 5 years ago. I think it's called conchinillo or something like that. It was like a white sort of fungus, and it just took these cactuses completely out. Chumberas are prickly pears, so this eventually will produce prickly pears, this cactus, which are great to eat in the summer. Just have to be careful evidently when you pick them. And the way to propagate them, I found this piece actually in Huelva on the way back from Portugal, and it was just one of those oval shaped leaves. It was near a petrol station, so I acquired 2 there, and then you have to leave them in the sun. Sorry, leave them in the shade, not in the sun, but don't plant them straight away. You have to make the cactus suffer. So the cactus still continues to live, but it lives using the water in the actual leaf itself. But when you see it slightly starts to shrivel, that's when you want to plant it in the ground, in a pot, in moist soil. You don't want to plant it in moist soil straight away, because it may rot, because the cactus is healthy, it goes in moist soil, doesn't feel like it needs to put any roots out because it's quite happy, then it'll just sit there for ages in moist soil, and it doesn't need to absorb any moisture, so it will just rot. So you need to basically cut the leaf, leave it, I say at least a week or 2, and then when you see it starts to shrivel up, that's when you plant it. I did see on the internet a lot of people cutting the bottom off, leaving them in water, waiting for the roots to shoot down. Never worked for me, that method. Always the method I've just explained. Now this one here is a jade. Now these jades are fantastic. They're so easy to propagate in Spain. Just get in, snip a little bit, and now with the jades, you don't normally have to leave them out to suffer like you would do a chumbera cactus. They can go straight into a pot. I've never had any problem with just sticking them straight in a pot. And then also what you want to do is you can turn them into like little trees, but I've got one, in fact I will have to get a photo for that for our next video. I've got one which I've literally just stripped back completely to the trunk every single year, and used the bits that I've stripped off to propagate other pots. And what happens is the trunk just gets thicker and thicker, so you just end up with this little mini tree going on. It's fantastic. And this last one evidently is aloe vera. Aloe vera is great treatment for sunburns and everything like that. and really easy to propagate. What you'll find is when you've got one plant, shoots will start coming outside. Just rip those shoots off and plant them in a separate pot, and that's it really. So yeah, aloe vera, that is something that everybody should have, and you can grow it in pots. You can, if you put it in the ground, anywhere. Aloe vera is very easy to grow. And now moving on to our last section, it's the food. And now this is unfortunately I didn't get a photo of the finished product for some reason, but I will do. This is a paella in process, which I cook myself. Now I have a very good paella recipe, which I've perfected over the years I've been in Spain, and I was thinking about doing a video. I'm showing you how I make this. Is specifically a meat paella, and it normally goes down very well, and even with my Spanish friends. So yeah, I think I've hit the nail on the head. This was for 12 people. So if you'll be interested in learning how to make paella and impressing your friends when they come to Spain, let me know and I'll do a video about it. I'm not too sure it falls in context with other stuff we've done on the channel, but hey, who cares? Let's get it out there. So yeah, if you would like to see that, then please let me know in the comments. And last but not least, check out this red wine which we had to accompany the meat paella, because it was quite a heavy paella. We use chicken and pork ribs, believe it or not chorizo. You never use chorizo in a paella. That was just something that Jamie Oliver did once, and in Spain was shot down in flames. You don't use chorizo in a paella ever. But this wine here, this was a Garnacha. As I said before, I quite like the Garnacha grape. This was a very heavy red. It's called Garnacha de Fuego, Garnacha of Fire, from the Zaragoza region, in the price range of around 6 to 7 euros. But it's 15%. I mean, this is a wine that you would probably have one glass of with a meal, but you won't want to sit there and drink it all night. But it definitely accompanies a meat paella very well. It would definitely be good with some dark meats, with a steak, I would say. But it's a very heavy wine. But if you do like your stronger, more heavy, definitely not sweet. It was almost metal, with like a sort of I'm trying to explain it. My wine explanations aren't the best, are they? But it was almost a sort of an iron. You could taste the iron in it, almost. But I thought it was really nice. It was slightly dry, very heavy, and a great combination to have with a paella. So there we go. Right, well, that's a little bit of a different format for you. Thanks for watching the weekly update. Subscribe, like the channel. Here we are now in Alcalá de la Torre. We're just gonna head. This is the PLENOIL that I showed you earlier on, just on this is, there you go, you can see the petrol station there in front of you, and we're heading back home.